Shedeur Sanders breaks silence on depth chart position after shock Cleveland Browns trade involving Joe Flacco. Sanders still faces positional competition at the Browns. This is despite veteran Joe Flacco, 40, being traded to the Cincinnati Bengals mid-season. Sanders has finally addressed the Browns' quarterback situation as he desperately looks for game time. Fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel, 24, has bested Sanders as the Browns' starting quarterback. Gabriel made his first start for the Browns in their 21-17 loss to the Minnesota Vikings last weekend. Sanders' status within the team has come under question as he remains the team's emergency option. However, the son of NFL Hall of Famer Dion, 58, remains in high spirits. This is despite Browns linebacker Emmanuel Acho, 34, urging Sanders to leave the Browns. "I'm in a great mental space overall," Sanders said. "So I would say you tend to get a little bit more excited when you see a light at the end of the tunnel, for sure. Whatever my role is here, I'm thankful. I'm happy just to do that. We're going to make sure we do everything we can to make sure Dillon's ready for the game." Sanders' place as Gabriel's backup is under threat as the Browns consider activating Bailey Zappe, 26, from the practice squad. The Browns' Week 3 victory against the Green Bay Packers remains their only win of the season so far. Veteran Flacco has become a starter for the Bengals as he takes over from the struggling Jake Browning, 29. Sanders believes that he must continue to serve the Browns despite his individual struggles. "Even when Joe was the starter," Sanders continued, "preparing the right way and be ready to know that you could get out there at any point in time. I'm overly confident within myself. I know when I first got here, I'm ready to play, but it's up to the coaches and whatever decision they make then, I'm fine with." Sanders was expected to be a high-ranking pick at the 2025 NFL Draft. This included his father, Dion, predicting that the quarterback would be among the first 5 players to be selected. However, Sanders had to wait for the 5th round for the Browns to come calling. It is understood that Sanders will play for the Browns this year, but he must wait a little longer. His next playing opportunity will come this Sunday as the Browns travel to face the AFC North leading Pittsburgh Steelers. When the news first broke that the Cleveland Browns had traded veteran quarterback Joe Flacco, the NFL world erupted in speculation. The headlines were everywhere, and for one young quarterback, it felt like the eyes of the football universe had turned directly toward him. Shedeur Sanders, the Browns' rookie sensation and son of Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, had suddenly found himself in a storm of questions about his role, his future, and whether this stunning move meant his time to lead had finally arrived. For weeks, Sanders had stayed quiet, letting the noise swirl around him. Analysts debated his readiness. Fans argued over whether the Browns should hand him the reins. Critics wondered if he had the poise to command an NFL offense so early in his career. But as Cleveland's locker room adjusted to life without Flacco, a steady veteran presence who had mentored Sanders through training camp, the young quarterback finally decided it was time to speak. And when Shedeur spoke, he didn't hold back. "People can make whatever assumptions they want about the depth chart," Sanders said with a calm smile during Friday's press conference. "I don't really care about being listed first, second, or third. My focus is the same: be ready when my name's called and make sure I'm the best version of myself every single day." It was classic Shedeur, composed, measured, and quietly confident. But beneath that calm exterior was a hint of competitive fire, the same energy that had made him a star at Colorado and the heartbeat of Deion Sanders' prime-time era in Boulder. The shockwave in Cleveland. The Joe Flacco trade had come out of nowhere. Just weeks earlier, the Browns' quarterback room seemed stable. Flacco's veteran leadership, Deshaun Watson's recovery from injury, and Sanders learning the ropes as a high-upside rookie. But when the Browns shipped Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals in a surprising divisional move, it sent shockwaves not just through the team but through the entire AFC North. Many insiders assumed it was a sign that the Browns were ready to fast-track Shedeur's development. Others, however, believed it was simply a cap or roster decision, a way to clear space while betting on experience returning from injury. Yet to Sanders, none of that mattered. "You can't control who stays or who goes," he said. "Joe's been great to me, taught me so much about film study, leadership, preparation. He's one of those guys who leads by example. But now it's about what I do with what I've learned." Behind the scenes, those lessons had already started showing. Coaches noted that Sanders had been arriving at the facility before dawn, reviewing defensive schemes long before meetings began. Teammates said his communication in the huddle had sharpened, his confidence growing each week. "He's not acting like a rookie anymore," said one teammate. "He's acting like he's ready." The battle for position. Officially, the Browns have refused to name their depth chart beyond week-to-week evaluations. Head coach Kevin Stefanski remained tight-lipped, emphasizing competition at every position. But in Cleveland's locker room, there's a growing belief that Shedeur's opportunity may come sooner than expected. In practices following the trade, Sanders reportedly split first-team reps with the backup unit, showing poise and touch against the team's starting defense. Even in preseason, flashes of brilliance had hinted at what he could become: the pinpoint deep balls, the pocket awareness, the calm under pressure that mirrored his father's signature swagger. Still, the rookie knows the NFL isn't built on hype. "College taught me a lot about patience and pressure," Sanders said. "At Colorado, we had highs and lows. The key was to stay consistent. Same thing here, you don't panic. You just play your game." That mindset has made an impression. According to team sources, Stefanski and offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt have both been encouraged by Sanders' rapid growth and his ability to digest complex play designs, something that often separates NFL-ready quarterbacks from long-term projects. Legacy and pressure. Being the son of Deion Sanders, one of football's most charismatic and iconic figures, comes with its own set of expectations. Every move, every quote, every performance carries a layer of scrutiny few other rookies experience. But Shedeur seems immune to the noise. When asked whether he feels pressure to live up to his father's legacy, he simply shrugged. "My dad had his journey. I've got mine," he said. "He's always told me, don't try to be prime, just be Shedeur." That advice, he admits, has grounded him during the chaos. While the outside world debated his place on the depth chart, Sanders focused on his preparation, the quiet grind that doesn't make headlines but wins games. The road ahead. For now, the Browns remain cautious with their young quarterback. Deshaun Watson's recovery timeline remains uncertain, but Cleveland's coaching staff has made it clear that Sanders is part of the team's long-term vision. Whether that future starts this season or next remains to be seen. What's undeniable, however, is that Sanders' moment feels closer than ever.